Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
We had a few brief breaks in the cloud cover earlier this afternoon, allowing for a couple spots of sunshine. That unfortunately did not help in our temperature department, though. Many spots stuck in the mid-30s for those afternoon highs. We're down in the low 30s or upper 20s for many of us, with a little bit of those breaks in the cloud cover still showing up. 28 now in Monroe, 31 in Freeport, 32 in Rochelle, 33 in Rockford and in DeKalb. But the thick cloud cover, especially in the lowest levels, continues to spread northward here this evening, and that's going to be stuck with us for these next few days and even going into the weekend. Initially tonight, though, that leads to not very far with our temperatures dropping. We only get back down into the upper 20s for many of us underneath a relatively mild night. I'll let you know how that could impact our temperatures going into Christmas Day and those chances for rain on the way coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, a fire destroys a barn in Marengo. The animals firefighters desperately tried to save. Plus, Don Carter Lanes remembers one of their own, the Memorial Bowling Tournament held in honor of Jerome Woodford, and a local nonprofit bringing holiday cheer to families this holiday, this Christmas, how they are supporting children fighting cancer.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, everyone. We welcome you in on this Christmas Eve. Thank you for being here. Mimi is off this week. Tonight, Illinois law enforcement is mourning the death of one of its own, a state trooper killed while working to keep the roadways safe. 69-year-old John Fleet of Wilmington was identified as a driver who hit and killed Trooper Clay Carnes. Now, Fleet was issued a Class 4 Scots Law citation with a notice to appear. So Scots Law requires drivers to move over when an emergency vehicle is on the side of the road. Trooper Carnes had pulled over to remove some debris from I-55 near Joliet. Investigators say Fleet hit Trooper with his truck.
With profound heartache and sadness that I share the news of the death of Trooper Clay Carnes. You know, anytime we lose a trooper, it hurts. But today it's Christmas Eve.
Trooper Carnes was 35 years old. He leaves behind a wife and 2 young children on this Christmas Eve. A court date for Mr. Fleet charged has not been set. He is not in jail tonight because traffic violations are not detainable offenses. Also tonight, officials are investigating after a fire engulfed a livestock barn in Marengo. Firefighters responded to the call off Carls Road on the south end of town this morning. It took about an hour and a half for crews to get the flames under control. 3 horses and 1 pony died in the fire. A resident was also hospitalized for a medical emergency, though it indicated it was unrelated to the fire. The cause is under investigation. Former President Bill Clinton has been discharged from the hospital. His deputy chief of staff says the 78-year-old was taken to Georgetown Hospital yesterday after he came down with a fever related to the flu. We brought this to you as breaking news right here on Eyewitness News. Clinton has faced several health scares since leaving office in 2001, most recently in 2021 for an infection that spread to his bloodstream. A local Rockford bowling alley held its 29th annual holiday tournament today. Eyewitness News reporter Tyler Sorensen went to Don Carter Lanes to see how this event is actually honoring the life of a fallen bowler.
Tonight's holiday tournament at Don Carter Lanes is more than just about Christmas. It is a special one named in memory of a bowler named Jerome Woodford, killed tragically.
Jerome was well known and liked in the bowling community. He was a high-level bowler. He loved competing in tournaments, leagues. He loved helping kids in our youth leagues. He was just a really big personality, and everybody misses him greatly.
Woodford was a regular at Don Carter's. He and 2 others were shot and killed at the bowling alley back in 2020. Many knew him and loved him. It was difficult to find someone who didn't have a good memory.
I would say 70% of the bowlers that bowl today will have a personal memory of Jerome.
We all loved Jerome. He was nothing ever bad to say about him. He was a competitor. He was a friend. And he was a brother to most of us.
The Jerome Woodford Memorial Tournament is not the only event that the bowling alley named after him, but also the Friday Morning League. It also created a scholarship in his name, something that seemed perfect for a special person.
Well, Jerome was a special friend of mine personally, as well as to hundreds of other bowlers in our community. People are very close-knit. They support each other. They compete, like crazy on the lanes, but when it comes down to it, everybody has everybody's back.
Keeping his memory alive for years to come. In Winnebago County for your home team, I'm Tyler Sorensen.
Since starting that scholarship in Jerome's honor, they have given out $1.7 million over that to local high school seniors. A local baseball and softball team is doing more than just hitting home runs this holiday season. It's giving joy to children fighting cancer. Eyewitness reporter Blake Dietz went to South Beloit with K Cancer Baseball and Softball as it handed out some special gifts. Blake, this is all about helping these kids.
Yeah, K Cancer's motto is competing with compassion on the field and off. This holiday, the compassion part is helping bring some joy to some children battling in the biggest fight of their young lives. K Cancer is not only a travel youth baseball and softball team, it also provides support to around 50 families across the state line who have a child battling cancer. The organization is all youth-led, and every holiday season, teammates come together for a toy drive. On Christmas Eve, those packages are delivered to porches from Beloit to Sterling. Adrian Rapier co-founded K Cancer 10 years ago, and he says what started as a small way to help a teammate's cousin, it has become a life purpose.
So it started with just trying to offset some of the costs for some of our families driving back and forth to treatment. And it turned into just a really good representation of how community-minded Rockford can be and how many amazing people are in Rockford that want to make a difference. And it's turned into just a really amazing community that just wants to plug in and make a difference with all of these families.
I'll have more from the players on giving back this Christmas coming up in the full story at 6. And Wendell, seems Santa arrived a bit early this year.
Always on time. Thank you very much, Blake. The Rockford Rescue Mission helped those in need all year and this Christmas Eve. Tonight it had its 60th annual Christmas banquet. The mission has been holding these banquets for as long as it's been in Rockford. This year the mission served up to 400 people. Organizers say it's not just a Christmas meal, but a way to help those in need get a better path in life while sharing love.
Our shelters are very full of men, women, and children. So this is an opportunity for us to show extra love and compassion, and just to have some great food and some family time, and just to show that there is hope.
The Rockford Rescue Mission is open to those who need help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Coming up after the break, Starbucks strikes continue as more baristas walk out of their jobs. How many more workers just joined the picket lines? And coming up tonight at 6, a popular market wraps up in Chicago with a variety of foods and gifts. The origin of the crystal Kindle, as interesting as the festivities.
Our temperatures work their way into the mid-30s today after starting in the upper 20s. Similar trends as we head into tomorrow, almost an identical day, but that could come with some patches of drizzle. I'll let you know when we could see more steady rain showers heading into the weekend, coming up in just a few minutes.
News, your home team with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Getting that Starbucks latte tonight may be a little more difficult, particularly in some places, because thousands of baristas walked off their job today, expanding their strike to more than 300 Starbucks stores nationwide. Melissa Dawn tells us what they're seeking and has the company's response.
We call the shots, we call the shots.
It's being called the strike before Christmas. Starbucks baristas expanding their strike to 300 plus locations nationwide on their 5th and final day. More than 5,000 employees from New York to Los Angeles participating.
We are fighting for better working conditions and better wages, as well as for them to give us adequate proposals for its employees.
The workers who began picketing Friday say they're short-staffed, have unpredictable schedules, unaffordable health care, broken coffee machines, and face harassment on the job and unfair discipline. Earlier this year, Starbucks Workers United and the coffee chain announced they would work on a framework to reach a collective bargaining agreement, but that has not come to fruition.
Starbucks has made very little progress at the table, and we are arguing that they are bargaining in bad faith as a result.
The workers claim the raises the company offered do not meet the ring cost of inflation.
I've had to make those choices like, do I pay for groceries or do I get my medication?
In response, a Starbucks spokesperson calls the union's proposals, which include increasing wages by 64% and by 77% over a 3-year period, unsustainable. But some people don't agree with the strike, especially during one of the busiest times of the year.
I think it's great for people trying to stand up for themselves. I don't think it's the best way to go about it.
Starbucks, which has more than 10,000 stores across the U.S. and employs 200,000 people, says the strike had a limited impact on its U.S. stores. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It's looking less likely that we'll have a white Christmas this year. Meteorologist Jordan Wolf will let us know if that means your travel will be clear for the holiday. His full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
A lot of our snowfall from last week has been melting steadily as we head into the early part of this week, given the mild temperatures and especially mild overnights. That was definitely the case, showing off our Mercy Health Skytrack camera in Rochelle. Now, you see some of those patches of snowfall still out there, but the majority of that snow has continued to melt. So what does that mean for our white Christmas chances here in Rockford? Well, it's not looking that great. We are not going to see a white Christmas again this year. Snow depth officially dropping to 0 at the Rockford Airport as of this afternoon. So we have to have 1 inch of snow depth Christmas morning to have a white Christmas. Not happening again this year for the second straight year. The last 3 white Christmases actually in Rockford were in 2016, 2017, and in 2022. We've only seen 3 in the last decade. Once again, a little bit more on the mild side here this year, helping to prevent that white Christmas despite the snowfall that we had last week. We are left underneath a lot of cloud cover, and that will continue to be a mild trend here into the evening. Not much to talk about locally aside from that cloud cover. Our next weather system down to our south and to our east, and that's helping to draw a bit more moisture our direction, and that will remain the case as we head into the evening, keeping our temperatures from falling very far. We're only down in the low 30s right now for many of us. 32 in Rochelle and Sublette, 33 now in Rockford, 34 Dixon and Sterling, 31 the current temperature out in Freeport. Overnight, those numbers could dip into the upper 20s, as a few spots already are, but will hold fairly steady once we head beyond the midnight hours tonight underneath continuing increasing cloud cover. Mostly cloudy sky, relatively mild given that average low temperatures this time of year closer to 18 in Rockford. As we head into Christmas morning, those temperatures will be on the rise, though. We don't warm all that far. We'll get back up into the 30s for the afternoon. 36, that forecast high temperature, but we are stuck underneath the gray, overcast sky that we are going to have, and that will lead to a chance for some patches of drizzle, possibly during the afternoon and evening on Christmas Day, but we do look to remain dry, at least in that first half of the daytime. This is what it looks like with Futurecast. It doesn't really show off much with our chances for drizzle, and really just looking at that overcast sky. A lot of cloud covers socked in with us as we head through these next few days. We'll see those rain chances, at least the coverage of them, become a bit more widespread as we head through Thursday, and especially going into Thursday night and then into Friday. More potential soaking rainfall, at least more likely a steady rainfall Friday, then going into Saturday. That also comes with a little bit of a warm-up as well. Our temperatures rising into the 40s for Thursday, 43 degrees, then 48 for Friday, and making a run at the low 50s as we get into Saturday. And those overnight lows not that far from the afternoon high temperatures either, actually well above our average highs for this time of year. Unfortunately, that trend doesn't last too much longer. The pattern flips back on its head into the first or second week of January. Ridging of high pressure out to our south and to our west helps to pull a lot of the cooler air masses down our direction. So a very high probability, 50 to 60% chance that we will see below average temperatures between the 4th and the 17th of January. In the short term, though, we'll enjoy the warmth while it lasts because our temperatures well above average, reaching the 30s, then 40s, and even making a run at 50 degrees for Saturday as we head beyond the Christmas season, ending 2024 on a very warm note. High temperatures even still above average all the way through the end of the 7-day forecast.
Thank you. Drew Collins is up next with sports. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love about the Packers punching their tickets. We're ticket to the playoffs. And Caitlin Clark has earned some more honors. We'll have details on next.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
After the shutout win yesterday, the Packers have clinched a spot in the playoffs. The vibes are great over in Green Bay. Jordan Love expects nothing less than a Super Bowl appearance. Meanwhile, Coach LaFleur is focused on the Vikings. This is what they had to say following the win.
No, it's big time. You know, that's something that obviously the goal is Super Bowl. So that's the first step right there, is making the playoffs. Obviously, this was a big time game to clinch that spot, and proud of the way we came out here and handled business. And yeah, so it's big time.
I was really proud of our guys tonight. We talked about playing a complete game for 4 quarters. I thought for the most part we did what we needed to do. Obviously, it's hard to shut out an opponent in this league, and from what I was told, it was the first one this season.
Bears fans can enjoy themselves tomorrow for Christmas, but the team is preparing for Thursday Night Football, where they will host the Seahawks in the final home game of the year. Some assistant coaches spoke about the mindset of the team moving forward.
The NFL is hard, and at the end of the day, trying to be efficient and trying to move efficiently are two different things, and we're not quite where we want to be, obviously.
And be here for the players, and try to get them to perform at the highest level. I don't spend 1 second thinking about, it's a down Christmas because we're not winning, or, anything negative.
Caitlin Clark has earned the honor as the AP Female Athlete of the Year following her impact on women's sports. After leading Iowa to the national championship game, Clark was the top pick in the WNBA draft as expected and went on to win the Rookie of the Year honors in the league. Fans across the country packed sold-out arenas and millions of television viewers tuned in to follow her journey. Her impact on and off the court has been unlike anything else. That's sports. We'll be right back.
It is Christmas Eve. Let's take a look at the forecast one last time.
Well, the weather is going to be a little bit gloomier, so we'll need to add some extra Christmas cheer inside those homes to kind of make up for it, balance it out a little bit, because we're going to have overcast sky. It's going to be stuck with us. We saw a few peaks of sunshine today. Unfortunately, that's looking pretty unlikely as we head into Christmas Day and going into the weekend. We don't have any rain to talk about in the short term here on the First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Glass & More. Temperatures dropping down into the upper 20s for those overnight lows tonight. Returning back into the mid-30s for Christmas Day, but we could see some patches of drizzle start to develop as we head into the afternoon and evening. That continues all the way through Thursday before steadier rain showers may be possible Thursday night, Friday, and going into Saturday. This also comes with a much milder air mass. Temperatures making a run at the 50-degree mark Friday and Saturday before a little bit more of a cool down heading into next week.
Thank you, Jordan. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. We'll see you again tonight at 6.